Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending. This is Cogitate's monthly meeting on our webinar for doing updates and looking at some new stuff. Today, we're going to be showcasing the upcoming export to Excel. It's not quite complete yet, but most of it's there, so you can kind of see what's going to be coming and you can get excited about it. We want to make sure we talk also about today. If you have a question, just pop in and say, ask it, or post it to our chat meeting. Try to, give me a chance to get through my conversations with that. And then at the end, I'll try to make sure I give some pause spaces for questions on the topic that we're on. Just to cover, our next webinar will be June 5th at 10 a.m. Again, topics, and we'll be doing something then for the next monthly webinar. Okay, so we've been kind of busy since last time. One thing to note is the state had released a new reduced tax rate for payroll. So be aware, as of 5/1 today, the effective rate is $4.05 instead of 4.05% instead of 4.25% for the income tax withholding tax. So everybody should be aware of that. When you run payroll, people will have less taken out, but that's basically just so that they're aware of it. You're aware of it. Couple things we did in the last part was the updated AP has the new check register. We've done this report probably about 10 times. We believe we have it finalized. We're hoping it is. We changed the low and high check date parameter in the void check report to show. Again, I'm not going to show and tell that. We added the effective date to the PR gross and net. So right now we're going through a lot of the reports and we're updating them. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about that in a little bit before we get too far. And it seems that a lot of our reports, some people use them, some people don't. Some people use them in different ways. So what we want to do is we're going to slow down on putting out the, releasing the new reports. And we're going to be putting out a lot of email messages just about, what do you guys want to, happen to these reports? So as we get going, some things we have to do just internally because we can no longer support the old, but we're going to be trying to see what you guys want to take on some of the things. And a lot of the reports that you've been using for exporting to Excel, we probably are going to now, worry about the new reports doing the same export because we're releasing this new export to Excel utility, which will be a direct export to Excel rather than trying to make a report to it. The next thing we did was, turns out that some people, the remote control button at the bottom got overwritten by certain aspects. So we fixed that so that the remote control button at the bottom should always be active. And that should help some people who weren't able to connect to us be able to connect to us. Where they would say they clicked on it and nothing happens. The other thing we did is there is several little tweaks to the, we talked about this one last time. Let me close this. To payroll, to the equipment groups. This had a few tweaks added to it. One of the things that we are noting is that if the group name is the exact as like this one, 006, if there's a piece of equipment that's 006, it doesn't work. We can't really do that. So we want to make sure that you have something after the name. You can start out with 006, but you either have to have W or S at the back of it or at the beginning of it. Just to let everybody know. because the selection criteria doesn't quite work if it doesn't have it. All right. As far as other updates we've been doing a lot of internal things that has been happening. And I want to cover that in a bigger annual meeting that I plan on having, webinar we plan on doing later this month. We're going to, after, because since we're not giving a presentation at the Finance and Human Resource, I'm going to try to give one in the middle of the month here when, and again, I'll be sending out a email on that to, try to get a date and time and that, most people can attend. I'll offer up 3 dates and times and see, which one gets the most votes, and then we'll have a bigger webinar at that time. All right, any other questions on any of the things that we've been changing, updating, things like that? If you go ahead and unmute, you can ask it, or you can type it into the chat message. I'll give a little bit of time here for those kind of questions to be asked. All right, let's take a peek at the new export to Excel. So what this is going to do is it's a little mechanism where we can generate a direct Excel spreadsheet from our software. So one of the things we're doing is we're saying eventually you're going to see a lot of these names with a star in front of it. And the star means that they're just the base set name, and I may hide them, I'm not sure yet. But basically, these are maintained by Cogitate, and then you'll be creating your own from them. So you'll be duplicating one of the base sets if you're going to create your own. And certainly you can call us and we can help you with it, because you need to kind of know SQL Server syntax in order to do it, but you'll get the idea. So if I come into here, we have one example at the moment for getting a list of birthdays from a specific date, and we're going to play with it a little bit in an example. So I'm going to go ahead and just run it the way it is now. I'm going to load it. In order to run it, we want to know the max date of birth we're going to be looking for, and we'll start with one of 20 of year 2000. Sounds like a plan. So then we execute that, and we get a list of all the people in the payroll that has a birth date that is less than or equal to, I think, of 2000. Quite a few people. You can do things in here. You can align it. You can set numbers. You can kind of play with it here in Excel. This is kind of as Excel-ish as we can get without violating copyright laws. Then you can click on data. You can do some things like grouping and put in filters, and you can also change things in here for the views. But for the most part, the main thing we want to do is just get this table generated and then put it out to the real Excel. So I'm going to put it out on my desktop. We're going to call it employees copy. Sounds like a plan. So I'll save it. And I'll go to my desktop. And we have employees copy Excel right here. I open it up in Excel, and here it is, all the data. So then from here it's just whatever you want to do in Excel. So we have the employees copies. So we're going to go here and we're going to design this part. Okay, so we have in the design of this, we're selecting all these different fields from the employee number, but let's say maybe we don't need the address. So we can pull those out. We can take the city, the state, and the zip code out. We don't care about these. We do want active status. And there we go. So then in this birthday parameter, we're saying where the date of birth is less than or equal to whatever we specify in the parameter. So we could say, well, let's put a new parameter in. And this, hang on, we click it. And then we call this one status. It's single, it's a Boolean, and I think it's called active status.
We don't have the Boolean set up yet.
Oh, we don't have Boolean?
Nope.
Okay, so we will change it to a string then, because I think that's working.
Yep.
Okay. So we saved it, so we can cancel, come back to here. Load him, and now he's asking for the active only. And we want A for the active. And then we select a date. 1990. And we can see exactly what the sequel is going to look like. I thought. Not the tab. There we go. And A for active. So now when I view it, there we go, where date of birth is less than or equal to 1990. We execute and we get the following people. So you can see, I mean, there's just, tons and tons and tons of things we can do here. And then, we can, when you want to run it again for another, think of these as like, you can put in dates, stuff like that as we get everything put in. So you'll be able to then specify and say, okay, I want to run it. And this is the, information I want. Again, once we, if we just execute it, then you can just click on the save. It's really all you have to do. And then you get a full XLS spreadsheet that you can, do things. There's a lot we can do in here with the design. I mean, we can put in a lot of information with SQL in here for you, and will help. I mean, the idea here is we're going to have a few that we use internally so that we can, easily get a good start on it. And then, we'll make the adjustments, and then your changes will be there. So it'll be very simple to do, very easy to do, once we have it, and then you'll be able to run it and get your data to Excel very, very easily. So like if we wanted to do vendors, let's just do a quick vendors. So in order to do that, right now, we gotta fix the little bug. So we go into design. Now we password protected the design mode so that we're on the phone with you, just so that things go smoothly before, because there's just a lot of things we still have to do. We'll call this one vendor. Okay, so then if we cancel, we can go back to vendor, load it. Source was no. Okay. Crap. Like I said, we're still working on it, but you can kind of see. I think I did. I don't know if it's called Ven file or not. Look at it. Tools. All right, so here is your basic everything in a vendor file. All your vendors, your codes, your name, things like that. And then you just basically click on save. And then if I go back to my desktop, I'll have the vendors that we just created. And here it is, and now I can do anything I want in Excel to the data. So it's just it's going to be a real easy way to run and put information to it. We kind of showed Intel a little bit of how this was going to be last year. A lot of things have changed. A lot of updates have been happening to it. But basically, I just wanted to show and let everybody know that this is coming soon. We're hoping by the end of the month, we will have this released with the caveat of the designs. We want to be on the phone for the initial set of designs so that we can get with everybody and see what people are needing. Eventually, we'll let the design be open, but for right now, we want to keep it because there's just a lot of little tweaks that have to happen, and you guys don't really know. You may know SQL, you may not know SQL statements, but it'll just be a lot easier if we're on there. We don't mind doing it. You just get us, me or Brad, or Paul on the phone, and we can certainly set one of these up. Once it's released. All right. Well, I'm going to leave that there. Is there any question? Oh, we had the AP check. Well, first, any questions about the export to Excel before I jump out of that real quick, and then I'll go to the AP question. Well, everybody, thank you for attending today. We will be here again next month on June 5th.
You are now working smarter with ProFund Accounting. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.